In the beginning, I felt very pressured to be an orchestral composer.
Mhm.
I thought like, the bigger the better, the flashier, the better the mock-up, the more you're like if you're in front of an orchestra, like you look more legit as a composer. I was very attached to the idea of like a classic Hollywood John Williams type composer, and I thought that that's what I had to be in order to get paid well as a composer. And I was obviously very, very wrong. I eventually started to embrace the music that I loved in my personal life instead of forcing myself to be like the other orchestral composers. And so in the beginning, I was working on a variety of projects. I worked on like a sci-fi horror thing. I did a dance film. I did like a rom-com. I did like a little bit of
A
everything.
bit of everything.
And in the process of doing that, I realized like, okay, I don't like any of those films. I really like coming of age stories, like stuff where I can really see myself in. So from there, I started to kind of tailor my search to look for filmmakers who were doing this kind of stories that I liked. And because I am Filipino American, I thought like, okay, wouldn't it be cool to do a Filipino American coming of age story? Like, where are those filmmakers? And luckily, I'm in San Diego, which is like full of Filipino Americans. So I was like, okay, let's try that and see how I feel. And after doing my first projects with Filipino American directors about stories that I could relate to, I realized, wow, a lot of the music that I like kind of fits into like coming of age movies. Like I like Coldplay, I like indie, like pop indie rock, like kind of music. And I realized like that's what I naturally like to write. I stopped pressuring myself to learn about orchestration, about making realistic orchestral mockups, because the kind of music I was being asked to do was more like being in a like an indie band, like, maybe some strings, but mostly guitar, bass, piano, synths. It wasn't anything like I thought I should be, doing. So I stopped pressuring myself, and then from there, I realized that people were starting to come to me for that kind of music. And instead of like questioning, what this is so easy, because it's easy means it's not valuable. I kind of just went with it. And I was like, okay, I'm the indie, coming of age person now. And even the first documentary that I did was an indie coming of age story about a real person, the director that I was working with. And after that project, I was like, this is my thing. Like I could do this all day.